Coming up on Full Contact Fighter, can you beat this? Special guest host Mark the Hammer Coleman. A look ahead to UFC 27 and middleweight champ Tito Ortiz. And we meet the Hammerettes, the soft side of Mark Coleman. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the final Full Contact Fighter of the season. How cool is this? I'm Michael Landsberg. Not cool because I'm Michael Landsberg, but cool because this guy is here, the Hammer. He was the winner of Pride Grand Prix 2000, arguably the toughest event in the history of mixed martial arts, and we have polled everybody that we know in this sport, and we're calling him the toughest man in the world today. Mark Coleman, nice to see you, man.
Thank you.
Ready to talk some trash today?
Good to be here.
All right, let's find out. Today on the show, we'll look ahead to UFC 27. We'll get his comments on his Hammer House teammates, Kevin Randleman and Brandon Lee Hinkle. But first of all, what's next for you? Hold on to that thought. Here's some ideas who we think he might fight next. When it comes to opponents for Mark Coleman, there is no shortage of candidates. First off is the biggest name in mixed martial arts, Ken Shamrock. The two have trained together in the past, and it would be a dream matchup for NHB fans. If Fujita can beat Shamrock in their upcoming match, he would establish himself as a worthy opponent. He's already beaten Mark Kerr, and a Fujita-Coleman fight would be huge in Japan. Coleman and Kerr competed against each other as amateur wrestlers. Everyone anticipated them meeting in Pride Grand Prix 2000. When Kerr lost in the quarterfinals to Fujita, that matchup was put on hold, but still may happen down the road. Dan the Beast Severn owns the WEF heavyweight belt, and Coleman beat him when both were in the UFC. If WEF comes up with the right deal, Coleman may jump at the chance for a Severn rematch. And finally, how about the UFC champ Kevin Randleman? Coleman and Randleman are very close, and Kevin says he'd never fight Mark, but for the right money, who knows? We have got so much to talk about today. Let's dive right in with the question that everybody wants asked. Kevin Randleman is the UFC champion. You are the Pride champion. Logically, you guys fight. But he said on this show, I'll never fight Mark Coleman. He's my friend, and besides, he kicked my ass. If the money was right, would you go against him?
Well, I can never say never. If the money's right and Kevin wanted to step in and do it, we'd have to do it, because I've never turned down an opponent yet. And I'm not going to start now, but we are great friends, training partners, and I highly doubt that would ever happen, but you just can't say never. But and it's very doubtful. Okay,
but it was predicted that you would probably face Mark Kerr at the last Pride, right? You two guys were set up to fight. He ended up losing, so that matchup didn't happen. But you do train with him from time to time, and you guys are friends. Was there a problem there?
No, there wasn't, because when $200,000 on the line, I'll fight anybody, basically, and he was in a tournament. He is a good friend of mine, a great fighter, but I want what he wanted, the belt, and so we were paired up to meet in the semis. It didn't happen. Maybe fortunately it didn't happen, because it wasn't going to be for a lot of pay. Down the road, I'm sure that's a fight that people still want to see, and maybe we can get paid what we deserve this time.
Okay, let's talk about fights people want to see. At the next Pride, Fujita faces Ken Shamrock. If Ken Shamrock wins that, could we see Mark Coleman against Ken Shamrock?
Well, I hope so. I mean, he's the biggest name in the business. For me to have an opportunity to fight him, I am friends with Ken Shamrock also, but...
Is everybody like friends in this sport?
Yeah, you know, we all get along, and we're all trying to take the sport to a new level together, so we see each other on a regular basis, and we just seem to get along for some reason. But once the bell rings, there's no more getting along, and Ken Shamrock, I'd have to take the fight, even though I like you, but I think I can beat you.
Mark, outside the ring, you're a business-like guy, right? Family guy, got all your values in the right place. Very controlled, I noticed.
Yes.
Inside the ring, though, you won Pride Grand Prix 2000. We've shown it a number of times, but we had to look at it one more time. Not your fight, but the celebration after this man won Pride Grand Prix 2000. Take a look.
But if you're boxing, it's going to still hurt you.
Oh, he got it. This is great.
He made Mark Coleman has won the Pride fight.
He's running away. He's running to the flag.
victory.
My God.
Coleman is back. He is back. Big time.
Totally back.
Mark Coleman is back big time.
The celebration was almost as exciting as the fight itself. Tell me, though, what that victory meant to you.
It was an unbelievable night for me. I pretty much trained about as hard as I possibly could. I laid it all on the line for that one. I had been tired of hearing all the crap about me being washed up, being finished, so I learned how to fight, basically. I learned how to stand up and fight. I learned the submission game, and it meant the world to me because, you know, I have a lot to prove, and I went out there and proved it, and I'm very pleased with the performance, and I hope to stay on top for a long time now.
Well, you had lost to Maurice Smith and Pedro Hizzo and a couple of others. The question that I have for you is, did you start to lose confidence in yourself? You say other people lost confidence in you. Did you lose it?
Well, there were days when I might have doubted myself, but in general, no, I didn't, because I've lost many wrestle matches over the years. I'm just used to coming back. You figure out what went wrong, and you fix what went wrong, and you come back stronger and better. And I must admit, it was very hard after 3 straight. I was starting to question my age, possibly, or whatever, but I just plugged away, learned how to fight, got in better shape, and I'm the champ now.
He may be the hardest working man in the Pride organization, but he's not scheduled to work the next event as we tape this show. The headline bout, not too bad, however, Ken Shamrock versus Fujita. Also, Ensign Inoue faces Igor Vovchanchyn, and Gary Goodrich takes on Gilbert Yvel. Should be a great card. Still ahead, we continue to bring it on. Mark Coleman, has he created a monster in Kevin Randleman? Tito Ortiz in UFC 27. And Mark Coleman, family man.
Full Contact Fighter is the undefeated, no-holds-barred news source from around the world. See why fighters and fans alike call it the Bible of no-holds-barred news. Each issue is packed with fighter interviews and live coverage from fights around the world. Also, from Full Contact Fighter, walk like a champion, dress like a champion with Full Contact Fighter clothing and videos, all the best from all over the world. Call today, 718-661-3357, or visit our website at www.fcfighter.com.
I have been a no-holds-barred champion all over the world. I have won Vale Tudo competitions in Brazil, where I'm known as the Smashing Machine. I'm undefeated in UFC competitions where they call me the Specimen. I fought in Japan, where I've destroyed many of the best fighters in the world. Now, I want to fight the best, and the best is in World Extreme Fighting.
Mark Kerr is coming to America. Contact Fighter, I'm Michael Landsberg. This is our final show of the season, and what a way to go out. We go out with the hammer. Mark Coleman. Mark Coleman was a coach at Ohio State University almost a decade ago when a young student showed up named Kevin Randleman. Randleman needed some guidance, and Coleman gave it to him. Since that time, they have become friends and training partners. Since that time, they have experienced the highs and the lows of wins and losses in the ring and the octagon. Recently, Kevin Randleman defended his UFC title against Pedro Hizzo. And who was there in his corner? Of course, his good friend, the Hammer, Mark Coleman.
Watch the knees. Get your head up.
It's here, man. It's underway.
Watch the knees.
Randleman with a blow. Throws him into the fence. And keeps him on the ground. Explosiveness by Kevin Randleman. This is my 13th UFC. No one's been jammed into the fence with that much force before, Jeff.
Appears the fence is tilted just a wee bit, but there's the can opener by Kevin Randleman, pulling out the head, finishes up with a punch there. When he's fresh, Randleman is very difficult to defense against a takedown.
He's so strong, so explosive.
Watch his elbow.
Too. Randleman caught him as he was kicking and then got the takedown.
Round 3 has come to a close.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a unanimous decision for the winner and still UFC heavyweight champion of the world, the monster, Kevin Randleman.
Kevin came up with a win, but there were a lot of unhappy fans there. What happened?
Well, I think people got to realize Kevin Randleman's 210 pounds max, maybe 205, which puts him in the middleweight category. He, there's a call for him to fight at the heavyweight division. He's been wanting to move down to middleweight for quite some time, but he's the champ at heavyweight, and they match him up against Pedro Hizel, very big guy who has learned how to, stop the takedown. Well, Kevin took him down a couple times, and I think started the third round when they headbutted, pretty much, knocked Pedro silly, and he no longer could bring the fight to Kevin. Well, you can't take a person down unless he makes a move towards you, and plus giving up 25 pounds is very difficult. Kevin did what he had to do to win. People want to boo, but you got to respect him being in there. Such a small guy fighting in the heavyweight division, give him some respect.
Well, the belt that Kevin Randleman says that he wants is the middleweight belt. Right now in the UFC, that is held by the Huntington Beach bad boy, Tito Ortiz. You were talking about Randleman and how he doesn't train quite hard enough. There is no question that right now, Tito Ortiz is focused and committed to his sport of mixed martial arts.
Now kick low at the end. The truth begins, I think, in the ring. For me, for other opponents, because I'm going in there as this is time. He's going to hurt me or I'm going to hurt him. That's how it's going to go down.
Things have gone down quite well for Tito Ortiz. In a short period of time, he has become not only one of the best middleweights in the world, but one of its best fighters, period. Ortiz established himself as one of the sport's elite in 1998 when he dominated Jerry Bolander, a highly ranked middleweight and member of Ken Shamrock's Lion's Den. A year later, he did the same thing to Bolander's Lion's Den teammate Guy Metzger. And after the fight, he added insult to injury by taunting Metzger with an obscene t-shirt.
It was a little overboard, but the fans loved it, and I kind of got that mark on myself. And I don't have a bunch of guys that train with me that are tough as the Lions Den do. And I was going to defend myself, and when Ken came up to my face and pointing at me, I wasn't going to back down. I'm not scared of Ken. Yeah, he's a very tough guy, but hey, I could take a beating. I'm not scared to get beat up on. That's cool.
At 24, Ortiz can afford to be confident. His performances get better every time out, and his kickboxing and jiu-jitsu abilities are quickly approaching the level of his already superb wrestling skills.
Once he sets his mind to a goal, he focuses on it, and it sort of blocks out everything else that gets in the way, and he's able to be positive. He doesn't allow any kind of negative thoughts or any self-doubt that would create any kind of hesitation, and it just flows for him.
Tito's success in the ring has gained him some fame around his hometown of Huntington Beach and even beyond.
I went to an AIDS benefit, and Dustin Hoffman, he knew who I was, and I was laughing. I was like, he goes, yeah, my kid watches the No Holds Barred fighting, and you're Tito Ortiz. He goes, can I get a signed card? I'm like, you're Dustin Hoffman, man. What's up? You give me an autograph. It was funny, though.
Right now, his thoughts of fame and fortune are in the back of his mind. He's becoming less of Tito Ortiz and more of the Huntington Beach bad boy.
Tito Ortiz has fought pretty well lately. What's your impression of him?
He's a great fighter. I think he's more disciplined now. When he first came onto the scene, I don't think he had the right coaches and the right attitude, but he seems to be very well dedicated to the sport. Now he's improved his submission skills and his striking skills, and I've said the whole time, whoever works the hardest is going to win a lot of these fights.
And the UFC middleweight champion Tito Ortiz is scheduled to defend his title September the 22nd. We'll have details on our website as soon as they become available. And coming up next, Brandon Lee Hinkle trying to hammer out a reputation. And later, the soft side of Mark Coleman.
Full Contact Fighter is the undefeated, no-holds-barred news source from around the world. See why fighters and fans alike call it the Bible of no-holds-barred news. Each issue is packed with fighter interviews and live coverage from fights around the world. Also, from Full Contact Fighter, walk like a champion, dress like a champion with Full Contact Fighter clothing and videos, all the best from all over the world. Call today, 718-661-3357, or visit our website at www.fcfighter.com.
I have been a no-holds-barred champion all over the world. I have won Vale Tudo competitions in Brazil, where I'm known as the Smashing Machine. I'm undefeated in UFC competitions where they call me the Specimen. I have fought in Japan, where I've destroyed many of the best fighters in the world. Now, I want to fight the best, and the best is in World Extreme Fighting.
Mark Kerr is coming to America. Welcome back to the show, Full Contact Fighter. I'm Michael Landsberg. This show, as is this sport right now, is being dominated by Mark Coleman. He's co-hosting today, plus it seems like everybody we talk about has a relationship with Mark Coleman. Earlier, we spoke about Kevin Randleman and how Coleman had tutored him for about the past decade. Another prodigy of Mark Coleman is Brandon Lee Hinkle. This youngster has fought all over the world, in the United States, Brazil, and Japan. The last time we saw him was WEF9, and Brandon Lee Hinkle put on one heck of a show.
Oh, another right hand, another one. That's a big one. Yamamoto taking blow after blow. And another right hand as Hinkle all over Yamamoto, who is
Hinkle's got to watch his arm here for an arm bar. I tell you, Yamamoto has his hips in good position. Hinkle needs to lower that elbow below the level of the hip and come out of there. Looks as though he's done that. Now he just needs to watch for the triangle. Nice job by Hinkle, passing the guard, bringing the elbows and knees to the back of the head here. Oh, Yamamoto could be in trouble here.
Yamamoto starting to drop his guard, another right hand.
Hinkle's going to take his back here if he's not careful, looking for a choke.
Boy, Hinkle just dominating Yamamoto right now.
There's a tap. There's a tap. Yes.
It's done. Hinkle with a win in the first round.
And right after that fight backstage, I spoke to Brandon Lee. He went nuts, so excited, so passionate, dancing around. Is he always that emotional, or was this something special for him?
Well, that was a big win for him. He needed that win. You know, it's a tough sport. You make your money on how you perform in your fights. He excited the crowd. He beat a great opponent, and he put him in line for another fight. And that's what everybody's out there trying to do, move up the rankings. And he wants to be a world champion, and he certainly trains hard enough. I've had the pleasure of working with him, and he doesn't miss any practice. He's there. He goes with me hard. We'll beat the crap out of each other. He's back the next day or even that afternoon. I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of great athletes in the Hammer House, mostly world-class wrestlers, and I've been able to travel all around the world because of it. It's been a great experience for me, and now I'm expanding out a little more, taking in more people, the need for, and now I have the ability to train people. I'm much more comfortable with my skills as a trainer. You know, I was always a good coach and a motivator, but now I have the skills to show people how to fight, and you know, I'm taking on more people. Wes, the Project Sims, 6'10", 250-pound, 20-year-old kid. You know, I'm taking him. He's basically a basketball player, but I'm going to try to take him from scratch and see if we can turn him into a fighter. So I'm doing a lot of things right now.
And what would you suggest would be next for Hinkle?
Hinkle? Well, hopefully he's got a fight lined up with Vladimir Matyshenko, and I'm not sure which organization they're putting it together. And that would be a big stepping stone, a fight that he would need to win. And if he did win that fight, it would put him in position for you know, even a bigger, you know, main event type fight. So you're always trying to climb the ladder, get noticed, and get in the main event. So that's the plan for Brandon.
Still more to come when we return. A side of Mark Coleman we never get to see.
Full Contact Fighter is the undefeated, no-holds-barred news source from around the world. See why fighters and fans alike call it the Bible of no-holds-barred news. Each issue is packed with fighter interviews and live coverage from fights around the world. Also, from Full Contact Fighter, walk like a champion, dress like a champion with Full Contact Fighter clothing and videos, all the best from all over the world. Call today, 718-661-3357, or visit our website at www.fcfighter.com.
I have been a no-holds-barred champion all over the world. I have won Vale Tudo competitions in Brazil, where I'm known as the Smashing Machine. I'm undefeated in UFC competitions where they call me the Specimen. I have fought in Japan, where I've destroyed many of the best fighters in the world. Now, I want to fight the best, and the best is in World Extreme Fighting.
Mark Kerr is coming to America. Welcome back to Full Contact Fighter. I'm Michael Landsberg along with the Hammer Mark Coleman. About a half hour ago, almost that amount of time, I said that you were the toughest man on the planet. That is true, but not all the time. In the ring, no doubt about it, he is. He will do anything to come up with a victory, anything. But there are times when this man is the softest man that you can imagine, and those times are almost always when he's with his 2 daughters and his beautiful wife. When Mark Coleman was winning his UFC championship, he was single-minded in his approach to his sport and life. As a fighter, he was a powerful ground and pound specialist who didn't have to worry about things like stand-up skills or submission moves. He was also a bachelor who could devote all of his time to his sport. Now, besides being a world-class wrestler, he's comfortable fighting on his feet, and he's added some submission moves that he's comfortable using against any opponent. His personal life has also become more complete. He and his wife Kelly have 2 daughters, 1-year-old Morgan and 2.5-year-old Mackenzie. He's still committed to his sport, but now he has other responsibilities to attend to before he starts a training session.
Hey! It's very difficult. I had it, I have it, it's, I love my kids to death, but it makes training much more difficult because, you come home from a hard squat session, hard weight training session, hard sparring session, whatever. You want to eat your protein, drink a shake, lay down, recover, and get ready for the next workout. But as soon as I come through the door, my kids want to play with me. And it's pretty hard to turn them down. But you got to suck it up and do it. But also, my wife Kelly, she's a very big reason why I was able to win the Grand Prix, because I was able to focus on my training, and she took care of the kids, and I got the extra sleep. She was up with them, and I have to thank her very much because motherhood is the toughest job out there, no doubt about it.
So how has your life changed in terms of your profession since you had your 2 girls?
Oh, I think that was the key point to me making the comeback. The birth of my first child definitely changed me as a person as well as a fighter. It's the greatest experience of my life, and I became more of a father instead of a child myself at that point, and I became much more dedicated and determined to become a champion because of my family now. And I owe a lot to them. They've supported me very, very well, and made this all possible. Especially my wife. She's raised my children and gives me the ability to go train as hard as possible, and I don't have to worry about who's taking care of my children. So I thank her and just my children, love of my life.
Now, when your daughters get older, would you like to see them ringside watching you fight?
Actually, my daughter was ringside when she was 6 months, and
I'm not sure that she was too aware. I mean, your skills are pretty obvious to most, but maybe not to a 6-month-old.
It wasn't one of my better nights, so I hope she don't remember. But she likes to watch it on TV now, and
so you're good with that then?
Well, not really, but I think she's going to be pretty tough, to be honest with you. So we'll have to wait and see. She can do whatever she wants. I'm not going to push her into anything. She'll make her own decisions.
Any plans to add to the Hammer House stable at home?
Well, I'd certainly like to try to get a little boy, but we'll see. My wife had a couple tough pregnancies, and she's not sure if she wants to have any more, but I'm pushing for one more. Give it one more shot.
If you'd like to comment on the show or find out more about mixed martial arts, visit us at our website at www.fcfighter.com or email us at fcfnews@aol.com. Well, that's our show for today, our final show of the summer season. Mark Coleman, I got to tell you, it was a real thrill to have you on the show. You're a gentleman outside the ring.
Thank you very much. Pleasure to be here. Congratulations to you and Joel and the rest of the staff. You've done a great job.
Yeah, the show has really been embraced by the public. This is groundbreaking. It's the first time on free TV, nationally broadcast, there's been a show on No Holds Barred Fighting. And you've known it for years, right? That there is an appetite for quality work in this area, and it's been a pleasure bringing it to you. I can tell you that Full Contact Fighter will be back in the fall. So for all the guys that helped out, Mark Coleman, Kevin Randleman, Pat Miletich, Ken Shamrock, all of the fighters that devoted time to us so we could bring you their stories, thanks to them. And as we go out, can you give me the Joel Gold line one time?
No.
You know what? I don't blame you. But Joel Gold, Full Contact Fighter newspaper editor, who worked so hard on this show, and Brian Sobey would like to say, see you in the fall.